Welcome to Cunningham Piano. I'm Hugh Sung. I am sitting in front of the ultimate Clavinova, the Yamaha CVP-809. What makes this the ultimate digital piano? Well, for so many reasons. First of all, this is the ultimate piano. As a piano, this has Yamaha's most advanced keyboard action, the GrandTouch Action. Every single key is individually weighted from the heaviest bass keys to the lightest treble keys. And they also have counterweights. This has the most realistic grand piano action, and it comes with the CVP-809. You turn on the instrument, and the first thing you're going to be presented with is it'll wake up to the magnificent Yamaha CFX 9-foot concert grand sound. Let's hear what this sounds like on the CVP-809. Of course, that's just one of many pianos that I can have access to on this instrument. I can use the touch screen or the voice keys over here to select another piano. Let's go ahead and hear what the Bösendorfer Imperial 9-foot 6-inch concert grand sounds like on this instrument. This is truly a musical sandbox like no other. Now, I could spend a couple hours talking through the 1,000 voices, the hundreds of styles, all the specs and all the gizmos, but hey, I think the best way to really understand and appreciate what this instrument is and what it does is to work with it. Let's actually put a song together, and I'll show you all the little details and kind of steps. And I'm only going to be scratching the very surface of what you can do with this, but at least I think this will give you an idea and whet your appetite in terms of what's possible. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put together a song called the Pink Panther. This was one of my favorite songs growing up. I played it on the piano as a kid, but man, why play it just on the piano when I can, that old song. But what if I get the whole band in? Now that's going to be a lot of fun, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so to get started, we need to understand the layout of this CVP-800 or this 809. The 809 and the 805 are going to be very similar in terms of their layout. And what you're going to see is this section over here, of course, is the power button. Here you can put in your USB memory drive, okay, for extra storage. And here's a very important portion of this instrument. This is called the style control. This is where we can have your band come in all different ways, from introductions to main sections of the song, main variations. You can give it a one-measure break and different kinds of endings and different ways of starting, either starting ahead of time or starting when you play, or even stopping when you stop playing. Okay? And the way this works is you play the melody on this half of the keyboard, and then you play chords on this half, and the band will extrapolate what chords you're playing and fill out everything else, the rhythm, the other instruments, and so on and so forth. And you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a green light here that shows that from this note down is where I can control the chords that will activate the band. I can always move this in different areas if I want to, but for right now we're just going to leave that alone. Okay? All right, so first things first, we need to find a style that's going to match the coolness of the Pink Panther. So to do that, I can either tap on one of these style buttons, which gives me the larger categories, or I can use the touch screen in the middle. Okay? There's several sections. And the left section is the style section. Go ahead and tap on that left panel, which says Cool 8-Beat. Okay? And I'm going to look for the top tab that says Entertainment. Then I'm going to go, and it's already selected for movie and show, so I can either use the down arrow to scroll down, or I can use this scroll wheel and move it one at a time that way too. There we go. There's Movie Panther. I'm going to go ahead and select that one and hit close. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and listen to what this sounds like. I'm going to press Sync Start, so as soon as I play this, you'll notice that it keeps playing even when I lift my hand off. Now, check this out. If I want to do a sync start and a sync stop, now watch what happens. As soon as I release my hand, the music stops. So that's the difference between the sync start and the sync stop. Okay? If I leave the sync stop off, it'll just keep playing until I either change the harmony or something else, okay, or hit the start stop button. All right, so that's the accompaniment part. Now I want to show you this half of the control panel. We've got our song control. We're going to get to that in just a bit. You can select different voices over here, different categories of voices, okay? And here we're also going to take a look at the registration memory in just a bit. But for this particular style, there's one-touch settings, and these are really great because I can select from these 4 suggestions. Number 1 is a breathy tenor sax, a great selection that matches the style perfectly. Yeah, we need a saxophone. One more thing, tap on the instrument in the middle panel, and then tap on the little eye with a circle around it. You get some more information. You can see that, ooh, if I use the left pedal and the center pedal, I can have extra effects. Ooh, let's check this out and see what this is like. Let's see what we can do. Woo-hoo-hoo! The left pedal slides up and the middle pedal gives me a beautiful gliss down. How cool is that, okay? Makes my instrument so much more realistic. Okay, with that in mind, I'm going to toggle the intro over here, and the simplest intro. Main variation will start as soon as that intro is done. I'm going to do a sync stop. Okay, and sync start is already turned on. And I'm going to record this. All right, so let's go ahead and record this. Push the record button. Now, you may see this in the beginning. If you see this, you can, if you want to see the expanded recording window, you can tap on the triangle next to channel, and that'll open up the whole thing. And just make sure that new MIDI is selected. All you have to do is start playing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my chords start off, my left hand, okay, and then my right hand is going to start playing the melody. Pretty cool. But as you know, there's a very famous piano part that's part of this. So that's why I recorded this, so that I don't have to worry about, because the piano part is actually in the left hand where I have all that harmony stuff. And now I can turn the harmony off, okay? Turn the auto accompaniment off, turn this off, okay? And now I can just play the song. Let's change that main voice into a piano voice. The CFX Concert Grand sounds just grand to me. Press play. Pretty cool. Okay, but there's more to the song. So let's see what we've done so far. In fact, let's go ahead and save this song and go to the new song panel on the right. Tap on that icon, which looks like an arrow going down to a hard drive. And then we're going to actually move this to the flash drive over here. Tap on the up arrow, then USB 1. And then I'm going to create a new folder by tapping on the plus folder symbol. Okay. I'm going to tap and hold delete so I can create a whole new name. I'll call this Pink Panther. Oops, hello. Okay. Please go to folder, choose that folder, save here. We're going to call this intro. Okay. There you go. Now I want to save all of this. Okay. We've got our intro and we're recording, and we've got our piano selected. I'm going to tap memory for the registration memory. And I want to make sure that song is selected. Again, if you don't see this, you might see this at the beginning, the first time you try this. Tap on that triangle next to it so that you can actually select additional options. I want to select the song to make sure that song loads when I press this registration memory button. Tap on 1, and now that's loaded up. Okay, so every time I press this, this will bring up all of these parameters here. Now, there's one more step I need to do before we add on some new sections of this song. I want to go back to my song, the intro, and I want to save it as an audio file, okay? So this instrument works, the CVP-809 and the 805 work as MIDI instruments. It's a term for a musical instrument digital interface. It's a language that allows computers to talk to pianos and instruments and vice versa. What we want to do is, because there's so much data going on, I actually want to consolidate that into a simple audio file so that when we add new sections, things won't get jumbled up, because there's a lot going to happen. So we're going to take this intro, now press on the button on the bottom left that says File, okay? And now look at that, look for a little arrow pointing to a squiggly thing. That's going to convert this MIDI file, the intro that we just created, into an audio file. Let's go ahead and press Convert. When I hit Convert, it's going to replay the whole song. Okay, so I'm going to just fast forward until it finishes converting, and then we'll go to the next steps to add the rest of the song for the Pink Panther, because there's a really fun brass section that's coming up next. All right, all converted, all saved. We're good to go. So we have that all set up. I'm going to just set up another memory registration one more time, make sure that song is selected, hit number 1, and we're good to go. Now we have the audio wave file version of this song selected when we start this song. And our piano, so that when we play, now we're playing with the audio. It may not seem like a big difference, but believe me, it'll make the transition to the next section a little bit smoother. Okay, so what happens next is we get to a more complex version of the song. So I'm going to hit variation C over here. And my one-touch settings, if I go all the way to the end, I've got a combination of 2 voices at the same time. A main voice, which are the warm pop horns, and a layered voice, a pop horn dynamic shake. What does that mean? Well, let's hear what this sounds like by itself. Isn't that fun? Did you hear what happened when I hit the chord really hard? It started shaking. It is so much fun. So now, what I want to do is I want to save this setting with this variation. Maybe do also a sync start over here. Now let's set this to a new registration bank. Go to Memory, deselect Song, because we don't want to start that song again. And now I'm going to press number 2. So that's the second registration memory. Now that's all saved with my settings over here, okay? Let's just double check, make sure everything's saved correctly. Number 1, I've got my piano and my intro song ready to go. Number 2, okay, let's give this a try. Let's play through our song, okay? Here we go. Oh, one more thing I can do. Now, I can hit the buttons with my fingers, but I want to do something a little fancy. So I don't want my fingers to get distracted from getting off the key. So I'm actually going to change the registrations with my foot. I can reprogram the pedals. Check this out. Press menu, press registration sequence, okay? And now what I can do is turn this on, and I can use pedals to control whether the registrations go forward or backwards, plus or minus, okay? You'll see that the registration plus is set to the center pedal over here. So I'm going to select the first one is going to be number 1, press insert. The second one is going to be number 2, press insert. I'm going to press this registration minus, and it's set to off right now, but I'm going to set it to the left pedal because I don't really need my left pedal, just so in case I can go backwards and forwards if I want, okay? So let's go ahead and save this registration. It's already saved to our previous folder. We're going to save it here. That's a good name for that. We're going to go ahead and say OK. All right, we're ready to go, okay? Anytime you want to go back to the home screen, you can press the home button, all right? Now, let's go, let's see if this is, I can hit this top triangle. I can see the sequences that I'm at right now. All right, I'm in sequence number 1. Ready to play the song and see if I can do this hands-free. Here we go. So much fun. Now you'll notice I ended the song by pressing one of the ending buttons. Of course, that's not how the song really ends. There's a lot more we could add, but I think you get the idea. You just continue adding on other layers, other sections, other variations. You can build songs, and you can, again, more combinations of sounds to get it to sound exactly the way you want it. How much fun is that? This is so cool. Okay, I've got a confession for you. I hate singing. I don't think I'm very good. People say I have a nice voice, but I don't believe them. Anyway, but did you know that I can actually sing with this instrument? The CVP-809 and CVP-805 come with a vocoder of all things. How crazy is that? So I've got my microphone set up here. I want to see if we can put together a whole new song. Let's give this a try. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to change our instrumentation. I want to select a different instrument and go into percussion and drums. I'm going to go to orchestral percussion, and I want to go into concert celeste, okay? All right, so we're going to record a brand new song. I don't want any accompaniments, so let's go ahead and get started, just free form. And... Can you guess what this is? All right, so now we want to have this. And now actually, I want to layer in another sound with this. Let's see. Let's do something mysterious, okay? So now I want to add another. We're going to kind of overlay our recording with a second track. So that was on track number 1. Let's find a synth sound. And I think Galaxy Pad might be nice. Oh, I like the sound of that. Let's give this a try. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to actually change this. Notice I'm going to get rid of all my styles here. I'm going to get rid of all my keyboards, and I'm going to change this to track number 2 because I don't want to overwrite the part I just recorded the celeste on track number 1. All right. So now let's go ahead and start playing. Okay, sounding pretty good so far. I think I'm going to save this, okay? We're going to do something similar. We're going to go ahead and save this song. And let's go to our USB drive, and I'm going to create another folder. We're going to call this, guess what we're going to call this? Yeah, that's right, Star Trek. All right, at least, and we're going to do this again. This is our intro over here, okay? Press and hold, intro. Okay. All right, so we've got this, and now we need, I don't know, something noble. We probably need a trumpet, right? Let's see if I can find a good trumpet sound. Maybe one. That sounds pretty good. That's even better. Let's do that one. Cool. Okay. So we've got our orchestral trumpets. We've got our song. In fact, I'm going to do the same technique where I'm going to convert the song into an audio file. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that and take this. I'm going to convert this. So this will just take a few seconds. Okay, so I'm going to save this as track number 1, registration number 1. So we're going to start a new registration over here. Registration, we're going to set the song over here. Close, oops, sorry, try this again. Song, registration number 1. We're going to save that. In fact, to save this whole bank, press both the registration bank, both minus and plus, press them together, and I can save this, okay? And I'm going to move this up to Star Trek. Press the save icon here. Save here, and we're going to delete this, and we're going to call this Star Trek. And I'm just going to use registration here, okay? There we go. All right, close that. All right, now let's go into the main part of Star Trek, and this is where the famous vocals fly in, and I'm going to sing this perfectly in tune thanks to my Yamaha Clavinova. Let's give this a try. Okay, so first we got to do is pick up a nice bossa nova rhythm, right? So let's find our Latin and world, bossa nova fast. Let's hear what this sounds like. It's pretty good, but it's a little slow, okay? Let's see if I can increase the tempo a little bit. I think that's a pretty good speed. You notice I was hitting this tap tempo over here to just kind of determine the speed that I liked. And you can also adjust it manually that way, but it's more fun to hit the tap tempo. Okay, so we've got that going here. Now let's see if we can find an interesting instrumental. Okay, so we've got this, which is pretty good, but I don't want these Latin vocals interfering with my vocals, so I'm going to just have the vibraphone and jazz guitar over here, okay? So let's go ahead and record this. Now, it's going to be a new song, a new MIDI song. Okay, there we go. Now, let's get rid of the keyboard style over here, and we're going to change this to recording channel number 5, like that. Okay? All right, here we go. The coolest starship in the universe, right? Okay, now let's see if this works. I'll go ahead and save this. Let's save the song, okay? We're going to go ahead and go to our, now you're going to notice I've been trying to do this a couple of times. I'm going to save this as main over here. Main 3. Okay. Yes, I've been doing this several times. I'm trying to figure this out. All right, so here we go. we've got this set here. Now, let's go into our vocal harmony settings here. Now, a little bit of experimentation, and I think I've got this figured out. Okay, you want to go to standard duet here, okay, in your vocoder, and now you want to make sure the mode is changed to vocoder mono, all right? Song channel set to 5 because that's where we recorded our melody on. Let's change the balance from the lead and harmony to that so that the harmony is over the lead. Okay, just turn it that way. Let's test it out. Let's see if it works. Yamaha Clavinova, my Yamaha Clavinova is making me sing so perfectly. It's amazing among the stars. All right. All right, let's do the whole performance. Let's see if we can get this to work, okay? And we want to save this. Let's save this bang to memory 2, okay? All right, fingers crossed. Let's see if this works. All right, now, I want to do my pedal thingy where I set this sequence. All right, let's get rid of all of this stuff here. I want to make sure 1 is inserted, and then 2 is inserted, okay? We're good, and we're going to save this as a registration save here. Great, overwrite that. Okay. Now, here we go. Space, the final frontier. We're going to give this a try. All right. I'm singing like this. I don't know how to sing that high. Whoa, I'm singing on Star Trek. It's a miracle. Now I probably can figure out a better way to make that transition not so jarring, perhaps. And again, I was just a quick, but I mainly wanted to show you how you can turn yourself into your own vocoder with an instrument like this. A little more experimentation necessary, yes, I know, but still pretty cool. So I hope this has whet your appetite to see why the Yamaha CVP-800 line of Clavinovas are truly the ultimate Clavinovas, truly amazing in terms of the musical creative possibilities that you can open up with an instrument like this. Andrew Lloyd Webber apparently owns dozens of these instruments, and I think you can see why. It is amazing how easy it is to be so creative and unlock your musical imagination with the CVP-800 series of Clavinovas. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to subscribe so that we can let you know whenever we have new content. For Cunningham Piano, I'm Hugh Sung. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you next time.